Is March 28th. We want to welcome Katie Zinmeister again. Katie has been with us before. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see Katie's previous sessions with us. She's very tech savvy, our tech guru. She's given us PD sessions on AI. That's where I learned magic schools, all with her. Today, our topic is empowering educators with AI tools and Canva. Okay, and just letting you know, this meeting is being recorded. You can refer back to it in our YouTube channel, the NJTESOL-NJBE Passaic County chapter. All right, so welcome, Katie.
Thank you so much, and thank you all of you for coming on this Thursday afternoon with a very sunny day, but very chilly day. Today, it was one of my favorite topics. Canva is one of the premium features that is available to teachers. And if you do not have a Canva for Teachers account, I'm going to strongly encourage you to do that. So the tools I'm going to show you today are available for free. Canva has worked very hard to make sure that all of our educators globally have the option to use Canva and to use it with their students for free. Just to give you a little bit of background about me, I was a classroom teacher in Passaic and Clifton before I took my current position for 9 years. And then I became the technology facilitator and trainer for the Clifton Public Schools for the last 18 years. I was talking earlier about the fact that technology has blossomed and grown and makes my job that much more interesting year after year. It has never become boring, and it has never been the same year after year. I'm also the mom of 2 girls, a high school freshman, and a 7th grader, both very tech savvy, but in very different ways. And both have used Canva in their classrooms, so I learned from them as well. Just in case you were wondering, I have a background in early childhood education with a concentration in Montessori ed. I have an MA in curriculum and instruction with a concentration in technology and another MA in educational technology. So that's a little bit about me. This was my plan for today. If you have not become a verified Canva educator, I strongly encourage you to do that. I'm going to walk you through the Canva educational templates and tools that are available to you. And then there are over 2,000 AI tool templates that Canva has to help multi-language instruction. And there are also tools embedded in Canva to help with your instruction of multi-language students. So that being said, make sure that when you join Canva, if you do sign up for this verified teacher, and I'm going to give you the link so that you can do that, that you do that with your school or educational affiliated school that you work with. Use your school's account, because that will get you verified that much faster. Okay. So we're going to start with Canva, and this actually is Canva. This is my Canva page. It has a bunch of different things on it, but Canva itself is web-based, so it's cloud-based. So you can access it anywhere. If you're sitting on the beach in Hawaii or at your home on a Chromebook, you can do that as well. You can even access it on your phone. It is very user-friendly, and as you can see, they're having a new, what they call their Canva Create session out in LA in April, but you can also register for it virtually, which I'm going to be doing as well on April 10th. But underneath that banner of sorts, there are a bunch of different tools that you can use that are right available to you, such as a Canva doc. And funny story, we found out today that Canva docs can edit PDFs like Cami and other and Adobe Acrobat more simplistically, but it actually was helping a colleague of mine with trying to change the date on a letter that was to go home that was in Arabic. She needed to change the date to next year, and it was having a lot of issues with the Arabic language because they read from right to left and because of the way it sits on the page. I know that for many people, there were lots of tools that they used for free. One of our ESL teachers at the high school was looking for an option to do an online whiteboard with her students. And so Canva has taken over this idea of their own whiteboard so they can put sticky notes and kind of collaborate together. As you can see, there's also a way to create presentations that are interactive. And that's why my agenda for today keeps kept trying to record on Zoom because it's a video. So that's probably why. Any kind of social media postings that you might want to do on Facebook, Instagram, X, they have templates that you can use for that. And then there's a whole education template section that we're going to touch base on or touch with at some point during our time together. Videos. Canva has a large print section where you can send it to them and they can print it and make it look all professional. I haven't had anybody do that, but in our world, in the education world, we don't really print those kinds of things with our students unless they're broad-based marketing things and some schools. But Canva not only works with education, but it works in the business world as well. So that's where you can print on t-shirts and things like that. It may become very costly, so I kind of caution people about the print piece, but it is something, if you would like to investigate, that's interesting. It will also help you create websites to use with your students or to use independently. You can customize the size of something. So if you were to create a new Google banner for your Google Classroom or a new signature for your email account, you can create it customized by size, either by inches, centimeters, or pixels, depending on how confident you feel with either of them. And you can always upload things like pictures and GIFs and other things. So that's what that is. And then there's a whole other more section where you can click on it and it'll show you more of what Canva has, and that's listed here. It's like Google and like other platforms that you may be familiar with. If you're looking for something, you can always search for it. And as I said, Canva is very user-friendly. It's not one of those things that's going to be hard to use. I know that my daughter, who's in 7th grade, has been using it since I think 2nd grade, maybe 3rd grade, depending on who introduced her to it. Underneath that collection menu of topics are your AI tools. So these are just 4. Cut part of it out and ask the student to tell me what's going on in the other half of the picture, or have the student write a story about a picture that I wanted to be able to share with my kids and have them write as a writing prompt. So it will actually, if you click on make me an image, you can put in what you're looking for and it will create the image for you. So I was looking for something about voices being heard, and this is what I was given when I was asking to search for it. If you ever need to go home, there's the home button right here, and it will take you back, and we're going to talk about some of the other tools that are here. But these 4 are probably the most used, and that's why that they're listed there. I don't know what Canva's algorithm is to figure that out, but you can also write a first draft of something. It can help you resize a design and even remove backgrounds. So if you have a background in a picture that's too busy or that's giving conflicting information, or you want to just remove certain aspects of that, you can remove backgrounds and different pieces of a picture. So these menus are for your use and for you to kind of dive into Canva a little bit. At the top, if you are searching for something, you know specifically what you want to create, or you know specifically what you're looking for, you can just type it in, your content in, and it will show you. But we're going to dive into the education tab for a minute just to get your feet wet and take a look at it. I believe strongly that technology is like a garden. You cannot garden from afar. You have to get your hands dirty. And so it's really important to kind of dive in and look. I know a lot of people who would just rather take a look and sit back and not try first and kind of like take a look at things, and that's fine, but you really need to get your feet wet with this and not be to really get your hands dirty. That's the best explanation I can come up with. Okay, so Canva has for multi-language learners and their teachers over 2,000 templates for you to work with. If you're not sure where to start or you're not sure where to go, you can click on this education tab, and it even has culminated lessons. Canva is a global company, so the caveat is that it may not work for every student, it may not work for every class, but you can customize them and fix them as you need them to be. So if you're looking for something, you can obviously search for it. You could start from scratch with just a template. So there's a lesson template, there's a presentation template, there's even an educational video template. I'm not using any of those today. I'm just going to share what I have here, but I didn't use any of those to create what I had today. I actually found a presentation that I liked and I tweaked it. They'll have Post-it notes. You can put little notes that you can print out and give to your students. They have check-ins. They have morning slides, whatever you're looking for. But when I typed in multi-language learners, oh, you're really going to be, it's taking its time today. We'll just go back because it doesn't want to follow me. But if you wanted to take something like morning slides and put it and work on it, or your class schedule, or your group rules, or if you're working with money, a self-reflection, you can always, there's so many here, it's kind of overwhelming. And you'll see these little crowns on them. As a teacher, you have access to their pro stuff. So the crowns are just letting you know that they're not accessible in the free portion of Canva, but as a teacher, you have access to them all. So I'm just going to grab one of these things so you can see what it is. Once you do that, it actually opens a whole new tab with your document. So it makes a copy automatically for you. You don't have to go in, download it, save it. It's already open for you. You can rename it immediately from here. And this is where some of the aspects of Canva become very powerful. So you can always click on here and add comments. So if your students are using it, you can add comments and make it more collaborative, like a Google Doc, like a Google Slides presentation where you're commenting on things. The other option is it will give you an analytic of what your students are using and what they're specifically what they're clicking on, what they're changing. The share button allows you to share and download it. You can share it directly from Canva. You can download it into something else. You can even put it into Google Classroom. So it's very flexible in the way that it does certain things. And you can even present it, although you may end up recording your Zoom meeting like I did today. But that's the share button. On the left-hand side, there are a bunch of things that are very helpful and will allow you to make any changes to things. So for example, if you don't like the design of it, you want to change the template. If you hit design, it will bring up all the templates that are similar to this particular template. So you'll see there are class agendas, there's calendars, there's a schedule. The elements are where some of the AI tools that are in Canva are embedded. So you'll see it says graphics. There's the AI image generator. So you can generate your own image if you didn't like the way this was set up, and so forth. So it will also create stickers and photos and video. Like there's so much here. But one of the things I did want to mention was that if you don't see them here, they're underneath the resize tab at the top. It will resize this however you want it. So if you wanted it to fit on an 8.5 by 11, it will resize the whole design. It will copy and resize it and put it in another document for you. And under File, you can see that you have the same options you would in any other document, including a version history. So those are always really helpful tools when you're working with kids, especially if they're changing things and moving things around and you want to go back to something. The undos and redo buttons are here. One of the other things, especially with typewritten text, is the font. You can change the font if the font is too hard to read. I know I was having a conversation with a student at the high school, and one of his friends said to him, "How are you able to read that? The cursive, it looks like cursive." And it was some form of text cursive that the other student was having difficulty reading. So just be mindful of what you're using with your students concerning the text. Brand is where your marketing comes into play. Clifton uses a lot of maroon and gray for their logos and brands. So you can actually, as a district or as a teacher, have the same color schemes as your district if you choose to do that. Under the uploads piece, this is where you can upload files, pictures, videos. You'll see, you can upload a picture. You can upload a video. It even has audio. So if you wanted to have something that had audio to it, such as music for a slides presentation, you can do that. And I would recommend playing around with that. I've done it with a couple things and it's been very helpful. As I said, Canva updates itself regularly because it's cloud-based, and under tools, you'll see that there are tools similar to what you would use in a drawing piece of software. So you'll see that there are pens, there are shapes, there are lines, there are sticky notes. I love sticky notes. You can insert text, and then there are tables. So if you wanted to change up the table so it had 3 columns or such, you can play around with that. It will automatically create projects and folders for you. So you can search your own projects. You can create a new folder and put all the projects that you're working on in there. It will connect to apps. In fact, something came across my social media this morning that MailChimp has partnered with Canva. So MailChimp is going in and they're working together to get out mass emails and things like that out for companies and for for people who use them. As I said, there's photos, audios, and then at the bottom, the very, very bottom, there are these 2 things called Magic Media. Magic Media were the original AI tools that Canva has thought to use. And those are things like creating images. So if I wanted to say a unicorn eating ice cream, and I hit generate image, it's going to create a unicorn eating ice cream and then possibly provide me with 3 or 4 different versions that I can decide what I want to put on this class schedule. As you can see, it might take a few minutes. Underneath Magic Media is called the Magic Morph, and we'll take a look at that as soon as they're done creating these images, which may be a few seconds or so. But as you can see, I'm not creating anything. My hands are on the mouse or in front of me. They're not anywhere on the screen. Or Apparently everything's moving slowly today. That's okay. But as you can see, they're actually creating approximately 4 images. They also have graphics and videos of unicorns eating ice cream. And once this blue band reaches the end, we'll see what they have to offer. And then we're going to talk about the stars at the bottom, which are the rest of these magic tools. Canva has taken what Adobe Acrobat and the snipping tool and other tools that we had and made them all centrally located and available to all of the teachers and students out there that can use them for their own creative purposes in the classroom. All right, well, we're going to give it another minute and hopefully it'll come back to us. All right, so I'm just going to go on to Magic Morph because it's taken a little bit longer than I'd like to. So in this way, you can restyle the way items are on the screen. So you can restyle this to morph into something else, maybe make it balloons. So if I click on the class schedule and I click on balloons and I click on Magic Morph, it should take these words and make it into balloons. So it's going to take a little bit to do that. And while it's doing that, we can go back to our Magic Meet. Nope, still going on the unicorn and the ice cream. But because it is cloud-based, it may take a little bit longer than usual. So it'll give you 4 ideas and you can pick which one you like. And then you can take it and insert it into your document. And you can maybe delete this piece if you want by clicking the trash can and taking those balloons. So it takes word art, that word art that we're used to seeing in the Microsoft products, which has served a very important purpose in our creativeness when it comes to making things in the for classroom use. So that's the Magic Morph. And we're still waiting for our unicorns eating ice cream. But just so you know that it works the same way. You would click on whatever picture you want it and put it right into your presentation or your poster or whatever you're creating. All right, so at the bottom, this is a quick action menu, but what it does is brings you to some of the AI tools and you can just click show more. They've started adding more things, and so it's a little bit harder to find them when you're looking for them. But the magic tools are really a big part of Canva. And this is the Magic Write tool where you can look for examples and have them write things for you. I wanted to get to the other magic tools, which seem to be hiding on me today. So just give me 1 second while we wait for this unicorn creating ice cream. Okay, so this seems to be taking quite some time. So I'm going to bring you somewhere else so we can look at some other magic tools and some other AI pieces called Dream Lab. So the Dream Lab is on the home page and it's on the left-hand side. And what that does is brings us to certain pieces of the puzzle using AI. It's going to take, oh, here we go. Okay, so this starts with an image. As I showed you before, it starts with an image. And then you can take that image and use it for something else. So what I've done is I've clicked it, and what it gives me is your voice needs to be heard for teachers, and then you can edit it in a design. So we're going to bring this over to a design page. The one thing that I'm not a fan of, but Canva is very good at, is it keeps tabs open. So if it opens one tab, it will keep the rest of the other tabs open so that you can work on multiple things. I get lost in a lot of tabs, and sometimes when you're working with a lot of tabs, you'll see that they take a long time to close a couple of my tabs because I don't need them all right now. So one to you. Okay, so here into a design space, including your toolbars on the left is something you have a couple other options. So you'll see that some of Magic Studio, they have a background remover. So if you don't like this, have the whatever you want. You have a picture of a tree and you want to remove, all the people standing around it. You just click move background. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I've used it with a picture to try and remove a person, like people that have photobombed me, so to speak. They've gotten into a picture that I didn't want them in, and I tried to take them out using the background remover. That didn't work. So if that eraser. So let's say, for example, I wanted to erase something that I was not a fan of in this picture, although I don't really know what you would want to erase. But if I wanted to erase this section of the picture, I can change the size of this circle. And if I click on it and I click erase, it will take out this. If you took a physical eraser and erased it, you can see it's not that great, but it does work really well on certain things. So I'm just going to undo this eraser so you can see it. One of the other things it will do is it will grab certain things. So let's say that you want this picture here, or this person here, or just this person here, or just the words, or just this person. You can click on Magic Grab, and you can click on whatever you want to take out. So if I want to take this lady here out of here and I want to grab her and put her somewhere else, it will grab that image so that I can take this. So it kind of makes her like a jigsaw puzzle. It kind of makes the picture like a jigsaw puzzle, and you can take this person and move it until you figure out where you would like her to be. As I said, it's not foolproof, but it's a really great tool, especially if you're looking to do something different or pull something off of the screen so that your students can understand that you're looking for them. There is a text grab. There is also a magic edit. And in that case, you can edit the doc, what you want, select the area, and then you can describe your edit. So if I wanted a microphone, it would look for different versions of a microphone, generate it so that we can put it in with whatever we need in this picture. I'm just going to hit cancel here so that I'm not doing anything too crazy. I'm going to put her back. There we go. And one more time, I'm going to click on the picture. Oh, what happened here? Did I go too far? I did. Okay. And then the only other option that's here, expand. One of the things I love is if you have a small picture and you want to expand it, you have to kind of like either fill it in if it's all green or try and match the colors. This will do it for you. So if you were trying to expand maybe this side, let's see if I can do this. If I make this smaller, band has been cropped out of the picture, but what it will do is it will take this section of the picture and expand it to fit what you need it to fit. So you have the option to freeform it. If you kind of know where you want to go, you can have the whole page. But these are all different ways that you can play around with some of the AI tools that are here. They automatically have that background remover in this toolbar. It's not something that I would remove for this background, but I could. You also can change the border style, round the corners, crop your picture. Flip it if you need to. Make it transparent if you wanted to make like a watermark or a light background. You could play around with the animation piece. I know for most people, they don't really have time to play around with things like that. But if you'd like to, you can. And you can always change the position by moving things forward and backward. Keep moving things to the top or the middle, the bottom, centered it. And then it works in pixels. So that's what the PX is that you see. And you can change the size if you needed to. Although I prefer to use the resize because I use inches. It makes it more concrete for me. And then this paint tool will copy the whole thing and you can move it to a different page. You can also comment, lock things. I know for some teachers, we used smartboards for a very long time. And when teachers were moving things around, they like to have things locked so that the students didn't move everything on the screen. So you can lock position only of where it is on the page. You can duplicate it. You can delete it. If you hit the more button, it's the same menu that you see with everything. So copy and paste, duplicate, delete, layer, align it. You can even put in hyperlinks. And there is a language piece to other things where you can adjust the language. Sometimes it works, but this is a picture, so it's not really that easy to do. But if you have text in a document, you have the option to change the language. I'm going to bring something up that has a little bit more information on that one. But then the only other thing that I want to show you that I didn't get a chance to yet is the option for classwork. As I said to you, this is something you can use independently of your students or in conjunction with your students. So if you do, your students can then use some of the tools that you have. They're not going to be able to use them all. They have limitations on what they're able to use, but they can create their own class schedules. They can create their own sticky notes. So this is a whiteboard activity that has sticky notes that you can drag and drop and they can put information on them. So if you're giving them a picture and asking them to use the English word for whatever the picture is, you can do that. If you're having them collaborate and do something together where they have to brainstorm on something, you can have them do that. And this is just a whiteboard where you can move stickers or sticky notes, change the color of the sticky notes. You'll see them here. But you can also move around images and as well as the color of the sticky notes, which I think is a pretty powerful piece. If you are familiar with things like Fig Jam or Jamboard, they retired it and it's no longer being used. It was being used for free for a very long time through COVID. But these tools will allow you to kind of change your game a little bit. So these are a different way to use sticky notes. Insert tables and have them insert their answers to collaboratively work together. I was very lucky that my children discovered this even remotely faster than I did sometimes. And you can see my daughter was working on her TREPS assignment here. And this is a great way to show you how to change the language on a document if you're working with very new English speakers or anyone for that matter that you might be sharing information with. If you have the option to work in a group where you're sending out home and school association things or other things, you can change the language to fit the needs of your students. So this happens to be her TREP stuff, and I'm only bringing this up because it's just easy it was right there, but she created this. This is my 7th grader. Created this whole background, this whole sign, this whole price list, everything for herself for her documents. I don't know what it is about the fascination of younger children with small documents. They are so small. Look at the hand. It's so small. It's not going to make it that big, but so for example, I said you could change the language of the writing that's here. If you click on this, okay, first of all, the font, so it's easier than it's read. And you can even upload your own fonts. You can change the size, the color, the alignment. If it's effects, you can see she's got some sort of background there. But if you go, it will take a document and generate a quiz. I've never tried that, but that's interesting to know. It will rewrite it. It will fix your spelling. If you have children who are, or students who are struggling with their spelling, it will fix them for them. And it will change the voice, although it is a yellow premium, so I'm not 100% sure that'll work. I'm wondering how she made this, because now it's not coming up. But you should be able to take this, and it should have a language setting. If it doesn't, and you're working or you're creating your own documentation, you can go into the file itself and suggest an improvement, like, can you help me? Or you can look for it using the help button. But you can also go into settings, and somewhere, of course, it's not here, but you can change the language to what you're working on. It depends on the document. For the most part, many teachers prefer, when they're creating something, to create it from scratch. But for some reason or another, today is not my day to just be able to find something easily. So we're just going to go back. So if this is the case, and I'm just going to kind of see if it's here. And I just missed it. But you should be able to change the language straight from the document. Depends upon the how this was made, if this was made by a text box or if it was made as an element. So I'm going to go back to something else, because this is just having a little bit of an issue right now. But so today I was working with one of our school ELL coach. She was trying to take a document that she had on her computer that was written in multiple languages and make it so that she could change a date with this Arabic writing that she's unfamiliar with. So she wanted to take this document and kind of make it into an editable PDF so she could change the date of the document. So what I did was I said, okay, I am going to try this, and I'm going to make a document. Canva has a version of a document similar to what you would see in a Google Doc or Microsoft Word document, with a little more flexibility in here. So you can have that. You have a couple highlighters, you have some headings and things like that. But you can take an already uploaded document and play around with it to see how it would best suit your needs. So just waiting for it to open. All right, so you can upload anything from your desktop space on a flash drive. You can use that to PDF of something. And I grabbed, I think it was a PDF for a t-shirt order for somebody. That'll work. All right, well, You can even upload from your Google Drive. And I'm just going to try and find a PDF because I want to make sure that this works for you. And the PDF that I did have was on my desktop at work today. So I just need to bring up something that's a PDF. So let's see. And of course, it's not going to open, right? Let's see if I found something that's a PDF. We'll see. I should have saved it today and I didn't. But what we did was I took the PDF and I was able to place it into this document setting on Canva, and it allowed me to manipulate what was on the page. So I'm just trying to see if I have a PDF that I can work with. Probably not. No, I don't. But you can upload any kind of document because that's where I was. No, it doesn't matter. So this is the PDF of a permission slip. So I can just drag it into this document. I can change the size of it. I can then go in and double click to interact with what is in the document. And this is what we were trying to help her with, because she didn't want to change the formatting of the document. She just wanted to change the date, the year. So it needed to reflect next year and not anything else, so I could take things and move them around. If it would allow me to. So to do that, I just needed to make it bigger and then double click on it. It can go away. And you'll see that it's transitioning the document, makes it more interactive. For the most part, there's not much on here that I would have to interact with, but in some cases on a PDF, replacing things like Cami and other things. But that's what that would do. And I apologize for it not loading correctly. I don't know why it wasn't loading correctly. But you can resize it so it can fit into 5x11 piece of paper. The same text where students would have to highlight things in different colors. If you do that as well, so you can make blue kinds of things or whatever works best for your students. All right, so I got 10 minutes left, and I wanted to delve a little bit more into the AI tools. So I'm just going to go back to the slide that I showed you before. And I said they had over 2,093 templates for ESL students. If you wanted to write down anything, you want to go into the templates and then type in ESL or multilingual education or whatever language you are teaching. So you can type in, be as vague or as precise as you need to be. As I said, the students can use Canva themselves. I know that our district was looking into some of the options for Canva, and Canva just has a way to sync their Google, or if they use Microsoft products, it's compatible with both. So you can sync those accounts as a district, and then teachers and students can use their school accounts. So they're not, one's using a personal account and one's not. So it kind of streamlines things. Many of the group projects that I've seen with my own children, as well as students in the district, are group projects, choice boards. They put in videos. They make posters for the classroom. A lot of the things that you would used to have to go shopping for and spend money on, you can do now within the confines of your own computer. So you don't have to go buy those really cute bulletin board sets. You can make your own. And as I said, a lot of my colleagues were very disappointed when Jamboard ceased to exist, and they looked at FigJam and they didn't like it. But this is something that they already use. It's just taken that whiteboard feature and given them infinite space to collaborate in real time. And the kids can sit on a computer, and you could be on an interactive whiteboard like a smartboard or a Promethean board. And this all could be going on live in real time, which would be really kind of cool. And you also have the option to create sticky note comments, on student work as you're looking at different things. So I'm just gonna ask if anyone has any questions. And while you're asking your questions, I'm going to bring something up so you can take a look at some of the student work that's there. So does anybody have any questions? Did I scale this down enough that everybody, I got everything I needed to do? That's wonderful. I'm very happy to hear that. All right. So, nice to be slower today. I don't know. My kids are doing their homework. Maybe they're on the computer and that's why it's taking them so long. Where did it go? So, my eldest daughter had a passion project that she had to do. And, oh, no, even better. I'm going to put this one up. My younger daughter is the one who her computer teacher told me that he can't give her anything that she can't do. So that's always a good thing, I guess, as the computer person that works with the district. But this was a project that she had to do for math that was fully online and just take and she's not creative, crafty things. So I'm gonna exit this page now. And she made a timeline. So I'm just gonna go bring it back up again. But she took a blank page and created a timeline of, and I can't remember what the parameters of the assignment were, but she had to include historical things and things that happened in her own life and her own family. So, she put down her birthday, and then when my husband and I got married, and then when her sister was born, I think, or when we bought our house. I can't read it right now, but I think that's what it is. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to go back to seeing if it'll load, and then I'll share it with you. Yeah, there we go. Now it's going to load. All right. So this was a project, and she submitted it on Canva. Her teacher graded it on the computer, so the teacher wasn't coming home with 9,000 projects. They're all on the computer, and she can see them and make them as big or as little as you want them to be. So she has a fascination with English history, so you'll see there's lots of Princess Diana stuff. And so there's my husband and I, her birthday, our house, and then learning from home, and then her moving to a new school last year at the beginning of last year. So she submitted this all on Canva. She shared it with me so that I could look at it. You can see we can make it bigger or smaller. She designed the whole thing as a timeline. So the timeline project, if you're looking for a timeline, you can find one here. If you wanted the students to put different activities so that are important to them or something of interest that they can put in chronological order. So this is just a student project. Nothing that I did. I didn't create this at all. She did. So just like looking for some fun things that I could show you that you could do. I do a lot with videos. I like to do videos for different things. So when the Mothers Club at my daughter's school needed a video of their seniors, I did their video for them using Canva. When my husband had his most recent birthday, the girls and I created a little Canva video, and they helped me. They worked on it with me, and we picked out different backgrounds and different music. So this is just a video that you can create. The background, the music, everything is in Canva. And this is a powerful piece if you wanted to have the students put together a video. You might just want them to record themselves reading something or sharing something, or so this just happens to be a video, and if it works, that would be awesome. So we'll see what it looks like, but you can see that it's multiple slides, and we're going to see if it will share, because apparently, so I'm not going to waste your time, but it's able to easily make these things as opposed to going in and finding a template somewhere. They're very user-friendly, and I'm just going to share two quick things because I know we have to go. But on Canva, and of course Canva's going to, there's a question mark tab where it has an AI bot that you can ask questions. So you can say to them, how do I create a video? Or how do I add music to a video? Or how do I change the color of the flowers on the background? And it will help you. You can even talk to it. If you still need help, on Canva's website, I'm going to take you there. They have a lot of videos for you to work with. They call it the design school, so I'm going to a completely different site, but if you typed in Canva design school, it will come up. And in that, because they work with businesses, they have to be able to produce videos that work with teachers and videos that work with marketing and video for website design and things like that. But canva.com/design school has a whole section, design things and learn things. And if you go to that, and you'll see, this is what comes up. There's a whole thing, an hour-long course, a beginner about teachers essentials, Canva essentials. And you'll see they're all business-based, but if you're looking for lessons, they're right here. It will take you to another place. You can always go back to where you were by clicking the back button. It's not one of the... So these are how to kind of get your lessons to kick up a notch. A lot of our teachers have asked me, well, how do I make things more interactive? How do I how do I meet the challenges of learning with students who are very tech savvy? So these are some great places to get that information. And then the other thing is to join a school team. So if you know that you have teachers in the building that you're working with that work with Canva, check in with them and say things like, do you have a school team? Can I join the school team? You can have teams that have to do with, home and school association stuff, academics that come from the office, those kinds of things. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can play around with. We have PBSIS teams. So those teams are working together as a school team. You can have multiple people working on things. So this is just so much in such a short period of time. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to go and do everything, but I wanted to give you the option to be able to do so many different things and try new things and see what works best for your students, because those are the primary goal for this, is to get them engaged. to keep them motivated, to introduce things that are different for them. Many of them are coming from different places where they may or may not have used technology. So some of it's going to be overwhelming. But really, honestly, it's just getting started. And listen, I planted flowers the other day. I don't do flowers. I don't do gardening. And I am so proud of myself for planting these flowers. So check in with me and find out if I finished, if they lasted as long as I hope they did. But you have to start somewhere. So I would say dive in. It's one of those things that is just going to change the way you view educate. I don't work for Canva. But I use it all the time, all the time. And these new tools, they keep coming out with new ones. So I keep feeling like I'm never getting enough done to try and learn the new ones. But does anybody have any questions?
Any questions for Katie?
Oh, there's 11 chats down here. What did I miss? Oh, you know what? I'm going to put my email in the chat here. So if anybody needs to reach me, this is my Clifton email address. It doesn't matter. It's not set to not get emails from other places. So you can always email me with your questions. I'm happy to help. Maria Jaume Aponte is one of my colleagues. I've worked with her for a long time, close to 20 years. So I'm happy to answer questions, or if you need anything, I'm happy to do that as well. And just so you know, we surveyed our teachers, and many of them want to know how to use AI in the classroom and Canva. Those were the two hot topics. So
they are the trending topics. I know that's definitely one of the PDP goals at my school, district-wise. It's bringing AI and more technology into the classroom. They're teaching teachers how to use AI for lesson planning and
absolutely. And it's a very powerful tool. And as they say in Star Wars, I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I know that they are big as with great power comes great responsibilities. So tread lightly, be very careful when we're working with AI. Every district is different. Every district's rules are different. And every classroom is different. But if there's something that's working for your kids, be an advocate for them and make sure that they're using it appropriately and that you are as well. And just, keep yourself safe. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you might have a problem. So, but AI is definitely on the beat of everybody right now. But it's a great tool. I use it all the time. If you've never seen Goblin Tools, take a look at Goblin Tools. I know. Is that we talked about Magic School AI, which is awesome. Magic School is awesome. Yes. Goblin Tools has some fun stuff. It has some great stuff, and they just launched a whole site for teachers.
Wow. I'm going to look into that.
I know. And I can't take credit for finding it. Our technology secretary emailed me the other day, and she's like, "Did you see this?" So I've been playing, but not a lot, not enough to not enough yet. But yeah, no, it's Goblin Tools they have some really great stuff, including like what's in my cabinet and my refrigerator that I can make dinner from. I should use that tonight.
When you become an expert, you can give us another CD on that one.
I would love to. I just hope they keep it for free. So Canva, they have made the pledge that they're going to keep this for education for free for as long as they are around. And I know that for many people, that's a deal breaker, and we don't want anybody to have to pay for. I don't like to advocate paying for something when it's currently free. But yes, Magic School AI is currently there's a free portion. This is definitely free, and then Goblin Tools is free too for now. Anywhere we can make money, people want to make money, but that's okay. I'll keep you posted though, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Katie. Thank you for the presentation. Any questions? I dropped the PD link in the chat. The presentation name, the presenter's name is also in the chat, Empowering Educators with AI Tools in Canva. And her name is Katie Zinmeister. And Katie shared her email address. Anybody wants to reach out to her with any questions, feel free to do so. Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you for being
Thank you for having me. It was very nice to see you all, and I hope to see you again soon.